Hi, my loves. How are we doing? All right, so how did I do it? We're going to talk about how I'm quitting vaping right now. I'm only on day 4, so I'm literally just starting this journey, but maybe I could give you some signs and some advice on like how to get rid of this nonsense out of your system. So how am I doing this right now? Number 1, if you guys are truly wanting to quit cigarettes, vaping, doesn't matter. By the end of the day, they both have nicotine, which is a very highly addictive chemical in the system. Doesn't matter which one you're on. Get some hard candy, get some gum. I know I've heard that a lot and I thought, no, it's stupid because to be honest, I do not like candy. I am not a candy girl. I do like my gum, but even then I don't chomp on it a lot because I have sensitive teeth. So I've been for the past few days learning how to control my intake on sugar and candy, and I don't want to hurt my teeth and all that sort of stuff. But get some hard candy, some gum. Seriously, it will help you because naturally, yes, you're obviously addicted to the nicotine, but by the end of the day, what's happening is you want something kind of essentially in your mouth. So gum and hard candy, or even just candy in general, okay? And also in that meantime, don't forget to eat healthy either. Like I kind of learned because I'm, eating all this candy, and like I said, I don't like consuming naturally that much sugar. Like just, make sure, don't forget guys, to eat healthy, because I've heard that's the number one biggest about quitting, cigarettes or vaping is some people are worried that they'll gain weight because you're going to be like, wanting to crave something a lot. So you'll be eating. Just kind of get in that mindset of don't forget to eat healthy, essentially. So that's just something to kind of keep yourself in check. And no, this is not an ad, but this is something that has helped me a lot. Okay. Their company is called Apothecary. Okay, I will leave, and see right there, .co, and there's their Instagram right there. I will leave their link in, my bio description as well. This is just herbs. There is no CBD, THC, nicotine, nothing. Let me read what, this one is called the OG blend. They have different flavors, but the only ingredients right here are mullein, mugwort, rose petals, lavender, blue lotus, Damiana, ginkgo leaf, marigold, skullcap, and raspberry leaf. Just herbs. No, there's no nicotine in here, so therefore this doesn't take away the craving. But again, if you need that, I need to, like, essentially you have a habit of doing this, or, grabbing something and hitting it with your, this would be a good thing to kind of alleviate. You're still smoking something, but you're not going to get a reaction. Again, it's all herbs. This is only going to benefit you and not hurt you. And what I like about their company too, it's actually a help for people who are trying to quit like smoking. So like I said, I'll leave their link, but it's called Apothecary. And like I said, they got all sorts of different flavors. Like I said, I got the OG blend. That's another thing that might help you guys, something to look into if again, you're trying to quit. And lastly, guys, quitting is seriously a mindset. I know that it sounds like a big eye roll, but it truly is. By the end of the day, it is a chemical, okay? Therefore, I've learned very quickly, it has no control over you. It's truly your mind, okay? It's controlled your mind for so long. If you tell yourself, and by the way, hi, if you don't know me, I'm a tarot reader on this app. I've been, been on TikTok now for almost a year. But anyways, I always tell people it's truly a mindset. You wake up and say, I'm going to have a crappy day. You're probably going to have a crappy day. Same thing with quitting nicotine. If you keep telling yourself, no, I got to have this vape, I got to have my cigarette, then yeah, you're always going to crave it. Now, I'm not saying quitting is rough, because I'm not going to lie, today is kind of a rough day, but believe it or not, these past few days for me haven't been as difficult as I thought I would. Like I said in my last video, I am craving it a little bit, but I feel so much better, okay? So I'm not going to lie. I know everybody handles, their cravings and, their reactions to nicotine withdrawal differently. But my first day was my hardest. Naturally, by the way, I smoked, I hit vapes. When I was like 21, 22 years old, I was a bad cigarette smoker. I wanted to be done with cigarettes. I hated the taste of them. I hated everything about it. So I just switched over to vapes just because I wanted something to smell better, not reek on my clothes, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, I didn't do it for a healthier option, but all I did was just switch over. And I've been, hitting vapes now on and off for a few years. But I know my last this last 2 years have been really bad. It got to the point very quickly I couldn't go anywhere. I had to have it everywhere I went. So I just got to the point I was done with it. But my first day was the hardest. Naturally, as a, a vapor, you want to hit that vape first thing in the morning, and it just feels so good. And it was just awkward when I woke up that a few days ago. So my first day was hard. Second day, I felt, believe it or not, fantastic. No cravings, no nothing. Third day, I wanted to fight Godzilla, and I probably would have won. And now we're on day 4, and I'm figuring out the motions. I'm craving it, but my mindset is a lot positive. And again, from day 1, I've kind of told myself, this is all in my head. This is not controlling me. And I refuse to have an air flavor box this freaking small to determine my outlook on life. And truly, my thing is I'm 27 years old. And this is my time now to change my habits in my life to just simply be healthier. And I don't want to have health issues by the time I'm in my 40s. I want to do my best to keep my health in line. And last advice, guys, like I said, I think earlier, quit when you're ready. I literally didn't come up with the date. My biggest advice, and again, naturally when you're addicted, you want to say, oh, well, by the 1st of April, I'm going to quit, or 1st of May, I'm going to quit, or whatever the case is. My thing is, when you've hit that point, when you look at that stupid pack of cigarettes or that vape and say, you know what, I'm done, literally throw it away. Like I did that night. I dunked all my vapes in water. I had 3 in my house. One of them was dead, but still I dunked them all in water and I threw it in the garbage, and I haven't looked back as of 4 days ago. Okay. But honestly, guys, you can do it. If you truly put your mind to it, by the end of the day, if you need that motivation, do not let a flavored air box that is this big control your life. Think about your health by the end of the day. You don't want breathing problems by the time you're 35 or 40 or 50. It's not worth it. And I figured it out literally in 16 hours. And I was just done. So just do it when you're ready. No pressure. But when it's time, throw that crap in the garbage and enjoy your life.